Hi everyone, welcome to Arpita Sharma classes. I am Arpita Sharma, your educator, and today we are going to cover weekly current affairs update part 2 from 14 to 20th September 2020. Part 1 has already been uploaded. Now this is part 2. Part 1 हमने already upload कर दिया है weekly current affairs update का. ये है part 2. Part 2 के अंदर कुछ important remaining current affairs हम cover करने वाले हैं weekly current affairs update from 14 to 20th September. So if you have missed reading the newspaper or if you have missed the daily Hindu newspaper analysis, then you can watch these sessions to cover up the entire weekly करंट अफेयर्स. अगर आपने बाय मिस्टेक हिंदू न्यूज़पेपर किसी भी कारणवश मिस कर दिया है पढ़ना, या आपने मेरे न्यूज़पेपर एनालिसिस को पढ़ना मिस कर दिया, तो कोई बात नहीं, आप इन करंट अफेयर्स अपडेट को पढ़ सकते हो. इन 2 लेक्चर सीरीज के अंदर हम सारे इंपॉर्टेंट करंट अफेयर्स को कवर कर रहे हैं. 30 मिनट्स की क्लासेस है, तो बेसिकली आपका 1 घंटे के अंदर सारे करंट अफेयर्स इंपॉर्टेंट कवर हो जाएंगे. द PDF ऑफ दीज क्लासेस यू विल रिसीव देम ऑन माई टेलीग्राम चैनल सिंप्लीफाइंग UPSC with ease. The link is given below in the description box. Okay, so let's start without any delay. The first important topic is on Mekedatu project. This is very important. Now you can divide this particular topic into 2 parts, for prelims and for mains. Now for mains, what you need to study for GS paper 2, the controversy over the project, what's the way out, what is the need for uniform mechanism, how you can establish a uniform mechanism to solve the river water disputes, that you can study for mains, right? But for prelims you need to study about Mekedatu dam, the key facts and location of this dam, about the Cauvery river and its tributaries, and about CWC. CWC and CWMA, Cauvery Water Management Authority and Central Water Commission, these are the 2 bodies that you need to study for prelims. Okay, so now what is the news all about? Basically, the Karnataka government has submitted a detailed project report that is known as DPR, Detailed Project Report of the Mekedatu project to the CWC, Central Water Commission. So this is how you can summarize the context. Karnataka government submitted a DPR, detailed, DPR is, write it down, it means detailed project report, and this report has been submitted to Central Water Commission, right? And as per this DPR, the total project cost will be around rupees 5,900 crore. जो भी मेकेदातु प्रोजेक्ट का टोटल कॉस्ट होगा वो 5,900 करोड़ का होगा. So what next? Now the DPR will be placed before, write it down, it will be placed before CWMA. CWMA means the Cauvery Water Management Authority. Cauvery Water Management Authority. And after its approval will be brought before the, अगर यहाँ पर approval मिल गया, if approval is received at this stage, then this report will be brought before the advisory committee. Write it down, it will be brought before the advisory committee of Union Ministry of Water Resources. Clear everyone? इतना clear हो गया सबको? Right? So Karnataka government submitted detailed project report on Mekedatu project to Cauvery Water, the CWC, that is Central Water Commission. Now this project will be put forward before the CWMA, and if it is approved, then it will be sent to the Advisory Committee of Union Ministry of Water Resources. Then the DPR will be examined in the specialized directorates of CWC, right? And on the basis of the note prepared by CWC, right, this final acceptance of the project will be taken. Finally, जो भी cost है उसका burden उठाया जाएगा. Right? Clear? Now this step has been, you can say opposed by Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu ना इस पूरे प्रक्रिया को oppose कर रहा है. Tamil Nadu is trying to oppose all of the process. Tamil Nadu has been vehemently opposing the project and the CWC's decision to grant permission for Karnataka to prepare the DPR. Basically, Tamil Nadu is saying that Karnataka should not be preparing DPR. That is a detailed project report, right? Now Tamil Nadu, it says that proposed reservoir violates the decisions of Supreme Court and Cauvery Tribunal. Supreme Court had noted that existing storage in the Cauvery basin of Karnataka should be taken into account for ensuring water releases to Tamil Nadu during the period of June to January. And the center says that this detailed project report submitted by Karnataka is subject to the amicable resolution of connected interstate matters between Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. However, Kerala, referring to the guidelines of submission, appraisal and acceptance of irrigation and multi-purpose project of 2017, argued that interstate aspect had to be dealt with even at the stage of preparing the pre-feasibility report on the project. So here Karnataka, Tamil Nadu and Kerala are involved. Kerala says even for preparing DPR, all these states should be involved. Not only Karnataka should prepare this DPR and submit it. Kerala, Tamil Nadu, every state involved in this project should be involved in preparing the DPR also. One state should not prepare the DPR alone. इतनी बात समझ आ गई? तो ये जो बाकी की इंटरस्टेट वाटर है ना कावेरी, इस पे लड़ाई चल रही है, तो सभी स्टेट्स बोल रहे हैं कि हम सबकी सलाह से ही डीपीआर तैयार होना चाहिए. कर्नाटका गवर्नमेंट खुद से डीपीआर तैयार करके अकेले अकेले सबमिट ना करे, हमारा भी यहाँ बीच में होना चाहिए. ठीक है, हमारा भी सेल लेना चाहिए. क्लियर? इतनी बात सबको समझ आ गई? So this is the issue. Now let us understand. Now over here you can see this is Mekedatu, over here Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, right? Now Tamil Nadu objected, saying Karnataka had not sought prior permission for the project from Tamil Nadu, and its argument was that the project would affect the flow of Kaveri water to Tamil Nadu. अगर मेकेदातु डैम प्रोजेक्ट बना दिया तो तमिलनाडु में जो वाटर फ्लो है वो अफेक्ट होगा. तो तमिलनाडु argues that reservoir violates the decision of Supreme Court and the Kaveri Tribunal. Okay, now let us understand some facts about Kaveri river water. Right, Kaveri river के बारे में थोड़े से facts पढ़ लेते हैं. This is very important for prelims. ये आपके prelims के लिए काफी important है. This river rises on the Brahmagiri hill of the Western Ghats in southwestern Karnataka state. Right? Remember, it is southwestern. In prelims, they can confuse you by writing east-western. Right? तो ये गलत है, नॉर्थ वेस्टर्न लिख देंगे वो गलत होगा. इट इज साउथ वेस्टर्न कर्नाटका स्टेट इन द वेस्टर्न घाट्स. इट राइजेस ऑन द ब्रह्मगिरी हिल्स एंड इट फ्लोज इन अ साउथ ईस्टर्ली डायरेक्शन. राइट इट डाउन. इट फ्लोज इन अ साउथ easterly direction. This is also very important. They can confuse you by stating a wrong direction. So it flows in a southeasterly direction for 475 miles through the state of Karnataka. In the southeasterly direction through the state of Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, and it empties into the Bay of Bengal. कहाँ जाके finally ये end होती है? Bay of Bengal में. ठीक है, underline this. It empties into Bay of Bengal. ठीक है, and further in the upper course at the Krishnaraja Sagara, the Kaveri is joined by two tributaries. अब इसकी दो tributaries हैं जो इसको ऊपर upper point में join करती हैं. Those are Hemavati and Lakshman Tirtha. These are the two tributaries who join Kaveri at the Krishnaraja Sagara, where a dam was constructed for irrigation also. And upon entering Tamil Nadu, the Kaveri continues through a series of twisted wild gorges until it reaches the Hognakal Fall. Right, finally ये Hognakal Fall में आकर merge होती है. ठीक है, the Kaveri's main tributaries are the Kabani, Amravati, Noel and Bhavani rivers. So they can ask you about the key tributaries of Kaveri river as well. Okay. Now here in the Hognakal walls, there is a Mettur dam which is constructed for irrigation in Haidalpar in Tamil Nadu. So they can ask you question on Mettur dam also. It is located at the Hognakal fall where Kaveri river merges. ठीक है, this much is clear. This is very important fact. Now coming on to CWC. Now Central Water Commission, you have to remember the ministry with which it is attached. The ministry is Ministry of Water Resource, River Development and Ganga Rejuvenation, Government of India. What are the general responsibilities of CWC? It's irrigation or initiating, coordinating and furthering in consultation of state government. It is concerned with the schemes for control, conservation and utilization of water resource throughout the country. For purpose of flood control also it is used, right? And also irrigation, navigation, drinking water supply and water power development. Now who is the head of CWC? It is headed by a chairman. इनका जो head है उसका post होता है chairman with the status of ex-officio secretary to the government of India. Okay, so this is very important. And when we talk about the Mekedatu, right, the Mekedatu dam, जब हम Mekedatu dam की बात करते हैं, this is again very important. This project, it was set up by, write it down, Karnataka government. You have to remember which state government is setting up this particular project, and it is opposed by Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu इसको oppose कर रहा है और setup किसने किया है? Karnataka government ने, ठीक है? And it is in the Ramanagaram district across the river Kaveri from Tamil Nadu. And its primary objective is to supply drinking water to Bengaluru and recharge the groundwater table in the region. Okay, so now what can be the type of question which they can ask? अब किस तरीके का question वो पूछ सकते हैं, right? So for mains, write it down. So this can be the question which they can ask you in mains. What are the key contestations of Tamil Nadu and Karnataka in the Kaveri dispute? Key contestations means what are the issues raised by Tamil Nadu and the opinions raised by Karnataka in the Kaveri dispute. Are there any alternative solutions to resolve this dispute? Examine. So what are the solutions which you can provide to solve the water dispute between Tamil Nadu and Karnataka? You have to examine it, right? So you can answer this question within 250 words. 250 words mein, that means 1.5 page. You can answer this question very easily, right? Let's move forward. अब आगे बढ़ते हैं. The next important topic that we have already dealt in the Hindu newspaper analysis also is National Capital Territory of Delhi Amendment Bill 2020. Now this is very, very important. Why it's very important? Because what is the key proposition in this bill? इस bill के अंदर जो proposition है, जो बहुत important proposition है, that makes this bill very important. That is that it proposes to clearly spell out the functions of Council of Ministers and Lieutenant Governor by giving more discretionary powers to the LG. Right? So Council of Ministers and Lieutenant Governor, that is the LG of Delhi, it clearly spells out the functions of both of them. दोनों के क्या functions है clearly ये बताता है, and it also gives more discretionary powers to the LG. LG को discretionary powers इसके अंदर ज़्यादा दिए गए हैं इस बिल के अंदर. So it will come under the Indian Constitution GS paper 2 में आएगा ये, ठीक है? Now this bill is proposed to be introduced in this Parliament session. It seeks to amend the Constitution 69th Amendment Act of 1991. Right? Remember this for your prelims. इसको आपको prelims के लिए याद रखना है. If the question comes on 69th Constitutional Amendment Act, remember automatically about NCT Bill 2020, right? And it is related to the powers. ये जो Constitutional Amendment Act है ना, the 69th one, it is related to the powers and functions of Delhi government and LG, right? So please remember this for prelims. ये आपका prelims के लिए बहुत बहुत important है. इसको भूलना नहीं है. It proposes to spell out the functions of COM, that is Council of Ministers and LG. It gives more discretionary powers to the LG, and as per the bill's provision, the LG could act in his discretion in any matter that is beyond the purview of the powers of Legislative Assembly of Delhi in matters related to All India Civil Services and Anti-Corruption Branch. Anti-Corruption Branch, All India Civil Services हो गया, right? ऐसे matters में Legislative Assembly of Delhi की जो powers है उसको भी आउटसोर्स कर देता है, आउट पावर कर देता है LG की पावर्स, राइट? इस बिल की हेल्प से इट विल गिव मोर टीथ टू द LG. यू कैन से ज्यादातर LG को ज्यादा दांत मिल जाएंगे, ज्यादा पावर्स मिल जाएंगी, एंड इट विल ऑल्सो इंक्रीज द वैलिडिटी ऑफ एनी डिसीजन टेकन एज पर LG's discretion, right? यानी कि LG कोई भी डिसीजन लेगा ना, उसको easily question नहीं कर सकता Council of Minister. If LG is taking any decision, Council of Minister cannot easily question it, right? Clear? Now the question comes, currently how is Delhi administered? So the Union Territory of Delhi with the Legislative Assembly came into being in 1991. तो आपकी write it down. The Union Territory of Delhi with the Legislative Assembly came into being in 1991 under which article? Under Article 239AA of the Constitution. It was inserted by again 69th Amendment Act of 1991. Okay, clear everyone? So Delhi is currently administered by Article 239AA, which was inserted in the Constitution by 69th Amendment Act of 1991. And it is said that Union Territory of Delhi shall be called National Capital Territory of Delhi. कहा जाता है Union Territory जो दिल्ली की है ना, उसको हम NCT बोलते हैं, National Capital Territory बोलते हैं. And the administrator thereof is appointed under Article 239, and he will be known as LG. तो दिल्ली में जो LG है ना, the LG in Delhi, he is appointed appointed under Article 239. Okay, please remember this. He is also the administrator of NCT. कौन है NCT का administrator है? Administrator of NCT is not CM, it is LG who is appointed under Article 239. So according to the existing Act, Legislative Assembly of Delhi has the power to make laws in all matters except public order, पुलिस एंड लैंड. इन मैटर्स में एलजी का रूल चलता है. इन दीज मैटर्स एलजी रूल्स, नॉट द चीफ मिनिस्टर, नॉट द लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबली. ओके, क्लियर? पब्लिक ऑर्डर, पुलिस एंड लैंड. रिमेंबर दिस, पब्लिक ऑर्डर, पुलिस एंड लैंड. ओके, क्लियर? Now coming on to the next important topic, that is Essential Commodities Bill. Again we have covered this topic in the Hindu News Analysis. The bill is meant to replace an ordinance which was promulgated in June because of the COVID-19 lockdown. So what are the provisions of this particular bill? It is important for two papers, prelims and in mains GS paper 2. The key provisions are, it proposes to deregulate production, storage, movement and sale of several foodstuffs including cereals, pulses, edible oils, onions, except in case of extraordinary circumstances. Right? And what are these extraordinary circumstances? These are war, famine, extraordinary price rise, natural calamity of grave nature. So you have to remember the extraordinary circumstances. तो ये बिल क्या करता है कि अगर सीरियल्स, पल्सेस, एडिबल ऑयल्स, अनियंस, ये जो फूड स्टफ्स है ना, इनके प्रोडक्शन को, इनके स्टोरेज को, इनकी मूवमेंट को डीरेगुलेट करने की बात करता है, बट एक्स्ट्राऑर्डिनरी सर्कमस्टांसेस में वो डीरेगुलेशन नहीं लागू होगा. एक्स्ट्राऑर्डिनरी सर्कमस्टांस मतलब हो गया जैसे कि कोई नेचुरल कैलामिटी आ गई, वॉर, फेमाइन, एक्स्ट्राऑर्डिनरी प्राइस राइज हो रहा है, राइट. एंड द स्टॉक लिमिट, द ऑर्डिनेंस रिक्वायर्स दैट इम्पोजिशन ऑफ एनी स्टॉक लिमिट ऑन एग्रीकल्चरल प्रोड्यूस मस्ट बी बेस्ड ऑन प्राइस राइज ओनली, ऑन दिस सर्कमस्टांस ओनली. A stock limit may be imposed only, underline this, only if there is 100% increase in retail price of horticultural produce, 50% increase in retail price of non-perishable agricultural food items. And how is it calculated? Increase will be calculated over the price prevailing immediately preceding 12 months or average retail price of last 5 years, whichever is lower. They can confuse you in prelims by writing whichever is higher. That will be wrong. It is lower. ठीक है, इतनी बात समझ आ गई. So what are the powers of central government under the ECA 1955? First, the central government can designate certain commodities as essential commodities and it may regulate or prohibit production, supply, distribution, trade and commerce of such essential commodities listed in this act. Okay, clear? The next topic is Aircraft Amendment Bill of 2020. This bill was introduced so that aircraft or pilot does not violate rules and regulations so as to avoid any sudden accident or damage. The act regulates manufacture, possession, use, operation, sale, import, export of civil aircrafts and licensing of aerodromes as well. This bill will replace Aircraft Bill of 1934. This is important point for your prelims. ये आपके prelims के लिए important point है, इसको please भूलना मत, ठीक है? So what are the features of the bill? Bill के features क्या हैं? It will provide statutory status to regulatory institutes like BCAS, DGCA, AAIB. Directorate General of Civil Aviation, it is responsible for regulation of air transport services to, from or within India and for enforcement of civil air regulations, air safety and airworthiness standards. And what is BCAS? It is Regulatory Authority for Civil Aviation Security in India. Important point for prelims. इंडिया में सिविल एविएशन सिक्योरिटी का जो आपका रेगुलेटरी अथॉरिटी है वो कौन सी है? वो BCAS है, राइट. एयर ट्रांसपोर्टेशन सर्विसेज टू फ्रॉम विद इन इंडिया, इट इज रेगुलेटेड बाय DGCA, ठीक है. एंड AAIB कैरीज आउट इन्वेस्टिगेशंस रिलेटेड टू एयरक्राफ्ट एक्सीडेंट्स एंड इंसिडेंट्स. दीज 3 authorities and bodies are important for prelims. Right, DGCA will look after regulation of air transport services. Right, BCAS will look after the regulatory authority for civil aviation security. And in case there is any accident or any aircraft incident, then AAIB will carry out investigations. Okay. Now the next topic is taken from the Indian Express OPID section, Beyond the Barriers of Disability. Very, very important topic. Now, often people with disability are not considered as equal right? They are marginalized, they are oppressed. So according to WHO, around 15% of world's population has some or the other form of disability. You have to remember the facts which are mentioned over here for your GS paper 1 and GS paper 3 and prelims, right? Also for essay. ऐसे के लिए भी ये facts figures बहुत important है, right? So according to WHO, 15% of world's population has some or the other form of disability. This is the editorial taken from the newspaper. ठीक है, ये editorial जो newspapers लिया है, beyond the barriers of disability. The continuous discrimination denies them equal access to education, employment, healthcare, and other opportunities in the society. And in this particular discrimination, women and girls with disability, they are at a higher risk of violence also. 80% of people with disabilities live in developing nations. Also, 73% of people living with disabilities in India are outside the labor force also. So they are also lacking in certain employment opportunities. And currently in the wake of COVID-19, people with disabilities are impacted very badly. Students with disabilities are facing difficulties to access digital education. UNESCO's report also states that inclusive education, that is providing education to all sectors of society, is complex to implement among the disabled section of the society, right? So what are India's initiatives for inclusive education? First is, this is very important for prelims, ये आपका prelims के लिए important है. First is Article 21A, Fundamental Rights to Education. Then Right to Education Act 2009. Then Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan, improved enrollment rates of children with disabilities in schools. Sugamya Bharat Abhiyan, to make public infrastructure disability people friendly. Right? Sugamya Bharat Abhiyan means the public infrastructure will be made disable friendly, right? जो भी disabled people हैं, for example, instead of stairs there will be a, you can say, slope through which the disabled people can be carried on to a hospital or to an education institution or to any office, right, via the wheelchair, right? व्हीलचेयर में बिठा कर आप स्लैंट के थ्रू, स्लोप के थ्रू ले जा सकते हो, instead of stairs, carrying them through stairs. However, measures are needed to ensure quality education for every child to achieve targets of Agenda 2030 and more specifically objectives of Sustainable Development Goal 4, right? Now the next important topic that we studied in the Hindu News Analysis also was Banking Regulation Amendment Bill 2020. Now, to protect the interest of depositors and strengthen cooperative banks, this has been passed because now the cooperative banks will also come under the purview of RBI through this amendment bill. The aim is to bring cooperative banks under supervision of RBI, and the bill amends Banking Regulation Act of 1949. So what are the changes which have been made in this new act? RBI can now ask the central government to place a banking company under moratorium. What is moratorium? Which is going on right now also. It's a period in which banks cannot make any payments or discharge of liabilities. Now with the amendments made, bank cannot grant any loans or make any investments in any credit instruments because of the decrease in the economic growth in the society because of lockdown. So RBI can prepare a scheme for reconstruction or amalgamation of the bank using this moratorium period. And with this amendment, RBI can also proceed for amalgamation or reconstruction of bank even without invoking the moratorium, right? So primary agricultural credit societies, cooperative societies, right, all these are excluded from the bill. The bill does not affect the existing parts of state registrars, cooperatives under the state laws, and this was necessary step because of PMC bank crisis that happened in 2019 also, in the starting month of January 2020 also. This step has to be taken. Now the next important topic for prelims, ये topic आपके prelims के लिए बहुत important है, Solar Cycle 25. So scientists from NASA and National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration, that is NOAA, have announced their predictions about the new solar cycle called Solar Cycle 25, right? Which the scientists from NASA says, they have said that this has begun. So like seasons on Earth, the sun follows a cycle of 11 years. जैसे कि अर्थ पे आप सीजन देखते हो ना, स्प्रिंग सीजन हो गया, राइट, ऑटम सीजन हो गया. So like these seasons on Earth, the sun also follows a cycle of 11 years, during which solar activities fluctuate between solar minimum and solar maxima. तो दो points हैं, this is minima and this is maxima. So between these 2 points the solar activity fluctuates, right? ये 11 years का जो cycle होता है इसके बीच में solar activities fluctuate करती हैं. So depending on number of sunspots detected on the sun, scientists term it as solar maxima. Solar maxima means the highest number of sunspots or the middle of the solar cycle, and solar minima, it is lowest number of sunspots or beginning of the solar cycle. So every 11 years or so sun's magnetic field completely flips. 11 साल के बाद सन की जो मैग्नेटिक फील्ड है ना पूरी तरीके से चेंज हो जाती है. This means that sun's north and south poles, they switch places. Then it takes about another 11 years for the sun's north and south poles to flip back again. Sunspots, what are sunspots? This is important for prelims again. ये भी prelims के लिए important है. These are small and dark yet cooler areas formed on the solar surface where there are strong magnetic forces. So how do scientists track solar activity? A new cycle starts when sun has reached its lowest possible minima phase. जब sun अपना lowest possible minima phase रीच कर लेता है तो सन का जो साइकिल है नया साइकिल स्टार्ट होता है. सो इफ द सन इज रीचिंग इट्स लोएस्ट मिनिमा फेज then the solar cycle, new solar cycle will start. So data of 6 to 8 months are required to confirm whether the star has undergone a minima phase or not. So remember, sun is a star. ठीक है, सन क्या है? एक स्टार है. सोलर साइकिल प्रेडिक्शन पैनल predicts the number of sunspots, the year or period when the cycle would reach its peak, and maxima and minima after taking into consideration the forecast from global scientific teams. Now, what is the impact of this solar cycle on Earth? It is being said by the NASA scientists that now it has reached the lower minima phase. That is why a new cycle is starting. So, what is the impact of this cycle on Earth? Solar storms or flares can typically affect space-dependent operations like GPS systems, like radio satellite communication satellites, like the flight operations, space exploration programs, etc. And ejections traveling at speed of 500 km per second are common during solar peaks, and they create disturbances in Earth's magnetosphere, the protective shield surrounding the planet. Underline this. They can ask you in prelims, what is magnetosphere? Magnetosphere is a layer of Earth's atmosphere which protects it from the surrounding planet. Radiation can be dangerous for astronauts who do work on the outside of the International Space Station as well. This can be the impact which can be asked in GS paper 3 as well as in prelims as well, right? Now the next important topic is US keen on finalizing BECA at 2+2 dialogue. First of all, understand the full form of BECA. It means Basic Exchange and Cooperation Agreement. Basic Exchange and Cooperation Agreement for Geospatial Cooperation, that is BECA, right? So basically US is expecting India to sign the last foundational agreement, BECA, in the next India-US 2+2 ministerial dialogue, right? Now 2+2 ministerial dialogue means here the defense ministers and the foreign ministers, external affairs ministers are going to participate. The dialogue is considered as the highest level of institutional mechanism. Again, very very important for UPSC prelims. ये UPSC prelims के लिए important है. You have to remember between India and US the highest level of institutional mechanism is 2+2 dialogue. Right? Please remember this for prelims. इसको prelims के लिए याद रखिएगा. It will allow India to use US expertise on geospatial intelligence and to enhance military accuracy of automated hardware system and weapons like the ballistic missiles and the drones. Now there are 4 foundational agreements. India has already signed 3 with US. Total India और US के बीच में ना 4 foundational agreements हैं, and out of these 4, 3 have been already signed. The last one is this BECA. So first is General Security of Military Information Agreement, which was signed in 2002, which enables sharing of military intelligence between India and US. Second is Logistics Support Agreement, which was signed in 2016, which gives access to designated military facilities on either side of India and USA. For example, USA's ship is landing near India and it needs maintenance and fuel, then India will help it, right? If Indian ship is landing nearby US and it needs refuelment or maintenance, then USA will help, right? Third is communications interoperability and security memorandum of agreement, which was signed in 2018 to procure and transfer specialized equipment for encrypted communications. And fourth one is BECA, right, which is not yet signed. अभी sign नहीं हुआ है, 2021 तक ये भी sign हो जाएगा. Okay. Now the next important topic is Global Initiative to Reduce Land Degradation and Coral Reef Program. This was launched at recently held Environment Ministerial Meeting of G20 countries, which took place under presidency of Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Very important for prelims. Where was this meeting conducted? In Saudi Arabia. It aims to strengthen the implementation of existing frameworks to stop and reverse land degradation within G20 member states. जितनी भी G20 countries हैं उनमें land degradation को खत्म करने के लिए ये agreement sign किया गया. What is land degradation? Reduction or loss of biological or economic productivity of the land when the land becomes infertile, when the nutrients in the land soil are lost. And what is desertification? The degradation of land in arid, semi-arid and dry humid areas. Desertification does not refer to expansion of existing deserts. It occurs because dry land ecosystems, which cover over 1/3 of the world's land area, are extremely vulnerable to overexploitation and inappropriate land use. Okay, so what is the major causes for land degradation? Land clearance, cutting, deforestation, vehicle off-roading, quarrying, mining, inappropriate irrigation, overdrafting, livestock overgrazing, agricultural depletion of soil nutrients, these commercial developments, these are the issues why land degradation starts. Now, what are the initiatives taken by India to stop land degradation? First is Desert Development Program. Second is Integrated Watershed Management Program, which has been asked in prelims earlier also, which is now merged with Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana. Third is National Agriculture Policy 2000. And fourth is National Mission on Green India, which is now a part of National Action Plan on Climate Change. Okay. The next second last important topic is RBI issues draft on rupee IR derivatives. So let's first of all understand what are IRDs. ये IRDs क्या होता है? Interest rate derivatives are contracts whose value is derived from one or more interest rates, prices of interest rate instruments or interest rate indices. राइट आरबीआई ने क्या किया है? रुपी इंटरेस्ट रेट डेरिवेटिव्स डायरेक्शंस 2020 का ड्राफ्ट वर्जन रिलीज किया है. द एम इज टू इंकरेज हायर नॉन रेजिडेंट पार्टिसिपेशन, इनहांस रोल ऑफ डोमेस्टिक मार्केट मेकर्स इन द ऑफशोर मार्केट, improve transparency and achieve better regulatory oversight. So what is the meaning of IRDs, interest rate derivative? These are financial instruments with a value that increases and decreases based on the movement in interest rates. Okay, so they are often used as hedges by institutional investors or banks or companies. राइट बेसिकली एक तरीके का ये क्या हो गया? ऑल्टरनेटिव इन्वेस्टमेंट फंड काइंड ऑफ चीज हो गई कि मार्केट में इंटरेस्ट रेट्स की मूवमेंट हो रही है तो इसकी वैल्यू भी इंक्रीज डिक्रीज होगी. ठीक है. सो नाउ अनदर टर्म इज, प्लीज राइट इट डाउन, एक और टर्म होता है दैट इज नोन एज इंटरेस्ट रेट स्वैप्स. What is it? It is IRS. IRS क्या होता है? It is a type of interest rate derivative. ये IRD का ही एक टाइप होता है, एक एग्जाम्पल होता है. So if in prelims they ask you what is IRS, it is the type of, write it down, type of IRD only. Okay, ये IRD का ही एक टाइप होता है. It is a contract between two counterparties who agree to exchange the future interest rate payments that they make on loans or bonds. Okay, and these two counterparties are banks, businesses, investors, etc. Okay, इतनी बात क्लियर हो गई. So now moving forward, what are the key directions by RBI? It seeks to allow foreign portfolio investors to undertake exchange traded rupee interest rate derivative transactions with a ceiling of rupees 5,000 crore, not more than that. Then net short position of an FPI, that is foreign portfolio investor, on exchange traded IRDs should not exceed its long position in government securities. The purpose of offering rupee IRD contracts to a user, the market maker, it should classify the user either as a retail user or a non-retail user. ठीक है? Now the next important last topic is Electricity Act Amendment. Now Telangana government has resolved to present a strong case against proposed amendment to Electricity Act of 2003 by central government. Telangana government is opposing the central government step to amend the Electricity Act 2003. Telangana government says it is a unilateral decision, that is one-sided decision, and it is an attempt against the federal spirit aimed at usurping the state's powers. So Telangana government says central government is not consulting with us while amending this particular act. So the central government is taking unilateral one-sided decision that is against the federal spirit. The State Legislative Assembly adopted a resolution voicing its strong opposition to the proposed amendment, claiming it was aimed at centralization of powers, would impose a huge burden on the states as well. So what are the contentious, controversial clauses in the Electricity Amendment Bill of 2020? Let us understand that, why it's being, being opposed. क्यों इसको अपोज किया जा रहा है? The bill seeks to end subsidies. Subsidies are the huge way through which states earn revenue, right? Subsidies के through state revenue earn करता है, right? So bill seeks to end subsidies. All consumers, including farmers, will have to pay the tariff and the subsidy will be sent to them through direct benefit transfer, right? States are worried about this clause because this would mean people would have to pay huge sum towards electricity charges, which will go on to the central government only, while receiving support through direct benefit transfer later. So what will happen? What will happen? Now DBT will be given to them, right? Huge sum they will be paying to the central government, and states will be left with nothing. This would result in defaults leading to penalties and disconnection also. The bill divests the states of their power to fix tariff and hands over the task to central government. So tax rate will be fixed by central government. State government will just sit and see. State government will just sit and witness all of this. Central government tax ले रही है, tax fix कर रही है, state government बैठ के बस DBT देगा, direct benefit transfer देगा और loss को भुगतेगा. This would be detrimental to the cash-strapped power firms also. The bill makes it compulsory for state power companies to buy minimum percentage of renewable energy which is fixed by the center. So state government of Telangana is saying central government is trying to dominate, right? It is trying to take unilateral decision, one-sided decision. It is trying to dominate the state, right? So over here, this is the previous year practice question for all of you. ये आपका homework question है. In the comment section, you have to answer this question. What are the importance or importances of the United Nations Convention to combat desertification? It aims to promote effective action through innovative national programs and supportive international partnerships. It has a special particular focus on South Asia and North Africa regions, and its secretariat facilitates allocation of major portion of financial resources to these regions. It is committed to bottom-up approach, encouraging participation of local people in combating desertification. Which statement is correct? You have to answer it in the comment section. Comment section में आपको इस question का answer भी देना है, ठीक है? Which statement is correct? You have to answer it in the comment section. Another question for you as homework is, with reference to cultural history of India, consider the following statements. Most of the Tyagaraja Kritis are devotional songs in praise of Lord Krishna. Tyagaraja created several new ragas. Annamacharya and Tyagaraja are contemporaries. Annamacharya Kirtana are devotional songs in praise of Lord Venkateshwara. Which statement is correct? कौन सा statement इसमें correct है? You have to answer it in the comment section. This is related to art and culture. Practice homework question for all of you. आप सभी के लिए ये एक practice homework question है, ठीक है? Third question, the last question as homework for prelims. With reference to governance of public sector banking in India, consider the following statements. Capital infusion in the public sector banks by Government of India has steadily increased in the last decade. To put the public sector banks in order, merger of associate banks with the parent State Bank of India has been affected. Which statement is correct? कौन सी statement correct है? You have to answer it in the comment section. आपको comment section में अपना answer छोड़ना है. This is your mains homework question. ये आपका mains का homework question है. Question number 1. Has the formation of linguistic states strengthened the cause of Indian unity? GS paper 1. Question number 2. How globalization has led to the reduction of employment in the formal sector of Indian economy? Is increased informalization detrimental to the development of the country? 250 words में आंसर करना है. इसको 150 words में आंसर करना है. 1 page. Here 1.5 page. You have to answer this question. these 2 questions. Okay, this is your homework question. ये आपका एक तरीके से homework question है, ठीक है? So this is all for today. I hope you enjoyed today's class. I hope आपको आज की क्लास अच्छी लगी हो, right? अगर आपको आज की क्लास सच में अच्छी लगी, do not forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it with other aspirants as well. Thank you.